All right, so let's head to uranium, see what's going on with the uranium sector, Casper, and let's get your opinions there.
Yeah, as you know, I've been a uranium bull late 2020. I'm still am. Am I disappointed that the miners has underperformed, you know, in relation to the metal? Yes. But again, from a we're still up what like 3x or so, at least on URA. I think the URNM is up a lot more. So I'm still a huge bull again, coming back to the energy. I think oil is about to do something. It has broken out of that. I can show you in a bit here an inverted head and shoulders. We have coal, I think, is bottoming out. Nat gas should be close to a bottom again. Nat gas is a wild beast, so I will not make any calls on nat gas. That is pretty difficult. Um, but overall, here, just the bigger picture, going back, what, 15 years or so, we have that huge downtrend. And in my view, this is just that's a cup and handle in the making here, in my view. So if we get above that 32, 33 again on the URA, that is, then it is, the downtrend, the basing is done, and then we're ready for the big incline, in my view. Even though we have come quite far, but overall, oops, excuse me, excuse me,
I always
you can
do
just,
that.
yeah, I do that also as well. We
Just
have that big squeeze.
I
So yeah, excuse me.
always do that because when you try to move the chart to the left, but it's on, like brush or something.
Yeah, exactly. I do that all the time. So it's a bad habit, I guess. But but again, we have that big flagpole here, and we broke out late summer. Again, I would be very, very often. I will I will show you this very, very often. If you have a pole and a flag, in this case a pennant, when you break out, the first, at least that's my experience, the first bigger resistance is always the flagpole high. That is the first big pit stop. Um, and then it needs some time to recharge, and then usually it goes higher again. But again, you can look at many charts. The flagpole high is a big resistance, and that's what you saw here. And then we need, a bit of recharging here, hopefully, and then we can go higher. Um, so
I thought
overall,
uranium was in a deficit, Casper. I just
I think it
that's what
is.
everyone will say.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But again, fundamentals and price action is two different things. Actually, the uranium bull market the uranium fundamentals looked incredibly well in 2016, 17, 18, 19. And look what happened here. This was that period where it looked fantastic. So again, that's why I rely on the technicals, because it shows me when to buy and what to buy. That's basically how I do it. So again, in my view, this is again flagpole. And again, I think also if you extend it here, if we go very quickly with the drawings here, I do think it matches it. It aligns up pretty well with the upper green. Yeah, exactly. Of that potential. It's only a potential now because we have three touches. So that parallel green is still a potential. But again, here, if we get that confirmation, we tag it here and then we go higher. I think that is a good sign that we are reaching that 100% measured move, 2025 maybe, just to put on the number. So I'm a huge bull still. There's nothing wrong with URA, nor is there nothing wrong here with, again, here, this is the URNM. We have the flagpole there, the flag or the pennant. Again, we came into the highs here. We came above here, now we're below again. But again, you see that all the time as well. You saw that on gold also when we pierced, 1980, I think back in 2020, we pierced it, and then we started to flick around for 3 years, and then we went higher. We're not going to spend 3 years here, obviously, because the time frame is a lot smaller. Don't get me wrong, but again, I think it's the exact same thing that we're seeing here. So yeah, I'm still a big bull here. Until proven otherwise, I will be holding my shares. I'm not trading these. I'm holding 80% of what I have here. And then the last 10% I do trade around some of the stocks that have some big, good setups. But that is my take on uranium.
And you said some positive things about oil potentially here. What's
Mhm.
going on with oil and your thoughts there?
We can have a look at oil. Again, I want to show the long-term stuff first. I want to show you the price action that I'm interested in is actually this big 2008 high. And then you have not the standard, but you have the 3 impulse lower lows. Obviously, 2020, March 2020 was the big, capitulation move down, the third wave going negative on the futures, I think. And ever since, we've actually come back heavily. We broke the major bullish bull flag, whatever you want to call it here. We broke it in December 2021, peaked out at roughly 330. And now we're, in my view, just doing a lot of retesting here on that golden trend line. So as long as that holds, which I think it will, again, that's just my bias, then that is just, the big retest, double bottom, and then hopefully when we can go higher. I will zoom in though here on the daily, because we have some, again, Friday also for oil was just a fantastic view from a price action point of view. We had this downtrend here, and also we broke out and then it started to form again. I love these inverted head and shoulders. And this Friday we broke out above the neckline here, you can see. And this is actually triggering a move to 92. Again here, and if we go to 92, you can also see that actually 92 here, oops, if we drag it out, if we get to 92, so this is the upper golden trend line that we have here, 1, 2, 3. 92 brings us to somewhere in this vicinity, meaning that we're breaking out of that, what is that, 3 years long worth of downtrend here. We're breaking out from that. Potential retest, and then we should be ready to go. And I think that is why gold is doing what it is doing, because it is sniffing out higher energy coming in the next few years. That means higher inflation, and gold always front runs the inflation, just like you saw from 2017, 18 into the 2020. You saw gold go up 80%, and then inflation started to kick in, and then people complained that gold didn't increase when we have high inflation, but actually gold had done the move before, like it always does. So that is the same here, I think.
So you think gold's going to run first, and then we're going to see oil catch up? Is that?
I think oil will start to grind higher, but when you see the big CPI numbers come out, then people will start to complain why gold isn't doing what it's supposed to do. But actually, it has been counting all that in 1 year or 18 months prior to when the headlines comes out on the mainstream medias and so on.
Coal.
I want to show you coal. Again, coal was the best performing assets, at least some of the companies in 2021 and 2022. They did amazingly well. BTU, Peabody did incredibly well. And actually, the chart on BTU now looks really, really good also. It hasn't broken out yet, but it has just gone sideways for 2 years. That's always good. But basically, I think here we could be at a potential bottom of coal. Maybe we will get that touch of that golden trend line here coming down to a tad above 100. But what I'm seeing here, if we zoom in, is basically we're starting to see some elite waves coming in here again. So this wedge here, if it breaks to the upside, getting above the 30 weekly, which is at roughly 140 right now, I think we are making a potential long-term bottom, and then we can go higher into 2025. So I do think we're trying to base out here with a potential final drop down to that golden trend line at around 100. That's also when you go from 2 digits to 3 digits, that's an even number. That's often a magnet. So yeah, I think coal here could be a very good play also in the near future.
Here's a question for you then. Since you like both oil and coal at this particular time, I know you were sounding pretty positive on oil stocks when I asked you how to play what's coming. What's your opinion on coal stocks versus the oil stocks?
I think right now I have 5 or 6, I think maybe a bit more of coal companies and oil companies. And the ones that I'm looking at least is I think they are very similar in the way that they have had that huge run up from the lows in 2020 into 2022, and basically in a major bull flag or sideways price action here. So I think both of them are very similar, at least the ones that I'm looking at. So it depends which one you want to choose. Yeah.
you think the same upside potential, stuff like that?
Yeah,
Between the
could
two
be, it could be.
sectors?
Yeah, yeah. Also, this is just, again, here we have that golden trend line, which was broken in 2021. We came pretty far up into the 400s, and now we're basically coming back down, confirming that breakout. Usually you don't see it go that high, by the way, but here we are. And then again, I think it will recharge and at least have a good clean run here. Do we take out the highs? Maybe, maybe not. But I do think we're coming in for a big bounce here. We just have to wait and see how big will it be.
Do you think that's a potential first wave of something that's just way bigger than what we think, breaking out of that big kind of consolidation base there?
Yeah, could
Like
very
is
well.
that, yeah, that full move in 2020 and 2022, is that the first wave? And then we could get a third wave that just goes ballistic way to the upside?
Could very
You
well
think that's
be.
possible?
Very well be. Even though we're going solar and what's it called, solar and wind, we know that that has failed big time, and that is why you're seeing coal, oil, and all that do so well, because we haven't invested in those for the past 15 years or 20 years or whatever. And now especially China, relies heavily on coal, heavily on oil, uranium as well. But we haven't been investing in any new projects, more or less, and the demand is just going one way. Especially for oil. I saw a chart, I think, 3 days ago, where we are at all-time high demand for oil right now as we speak. So yeah, I think the prices could go way well higher for sure.
Okay. Any other things that you've got on uranium, coal, oil, or any other conclusions that you want to talk about or dive into?
No, I think we took the broader view here. I think next time we can maybe go into some of these specific stocks and have a good chat about those, because I think there are good place to be made there, definitely.
Okay. All right. So we'll end it there. Appreciate it for coming on, Casper. Thanks for spending the time with me. Thanks for covering all these different sectors. And how do people, follow you or reach out to you if they're interested?
Yeah, on Twitter it's USELINK INV. Same thing for YouTube. It's USELINK INV. So definitely check it out if you wanna follow me. That would be great. So
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching. Put in the comment section, Casper rocks.
he
And
does.
thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye.